Hey everyone, I'm Katie from Addicted to DIY, and today I am finally going to be sharing with you an update on my Rockler DustRIGHT dust collector. So I've had this dust collector for a little over 2 years now, and it is probably the tool that I get the most questions on, both on YouTube and on social media. And probably the biggest question is, how do I like it? Honestly, I love it. It works great. I really like the setup. I was really nervous about having something that was static on the wall. I was afraid that I would hate the fact that I can't move it around because I kind of have commitment issues in my shop. So for me, not being able to move something around, it makes me panic a little bit. But having this on the wall has not bothered me one bit, and probably because of the fact that I have the ability to take the hose and move it from tool to tool so easily. So with this handle that I have on the dust collector, it allows me to move it from the dock that's on here to my different tools, like my belt sander here. I've got my bandsaw, my drum sander, my router. All of those also have a tool port on them that easily slides onto. Now, I did have a little incident with it. I think it was back in the spring of 2020 where I was pulling it off of the wall and accidentally gave myself a black eye because of the fact that it's a little hard to wiggle off the wall, and I'll show you that in a minute. But I was pulling it off the wall, and my son was on one side of the shop, and I was turning and talking to him as I was wiggling it off the wall. And once it freed itself, it was when I happened to turn and look, and I just popped myself right in the eye with the point of that handle, and definitely brought me to my knees in pain. So I would recommend being careful and not getting distracted when you're taking that off the wall. And obviously, if you're gonna be in your shop, wear safety glasses. I wasn't at that particular moment because I was just kind of cleaning, and had I had safety glasses on, definitely wouldn't have hurt myself the way that I did. But you know, just kind of funny little things that sometimes happen in the shop. So like I was saying, it is super easy to take this handle off and move it from tool to tool. All I have to do is wiggle it off of there, and I can move it over to my belt sander. I can move it over to my bandsaw. All of these things, super easy to do. It's also not ridiculously loud, which I also really appreciate. Because even with your protection, it can just get really loud with certain tools in the shop. And I don't find it to be overly obnoxious. I really like the remote feature because a lot of times I'll leave the switch on, and then I can just hit the remote and I can turn it on. And then I can easily shut it off when I'm done with it. There is also a switch up here that can be used. So either way you want to use it, super easy. I just keep the remote in a drawer in my workbench so that way I always know where it is and I'm not going to lose it. So another question that I get asked really often is about the bag. Obviously it's not the biggest bag in the world. It fits on the bottom of the filter. The filter is optional. I got this because I wanted the extra benefit of an air filter with the dust collector. The dust collector itself comes with the motor up there, and then it actually comes with a big cloth bag. So obviously mine has the larger canister filter on it, and then with that means that you're gonna have a smaller bag at the bottom. It really doesn't bother me. I thought it would. I actually ordered bigger bags, and I was gonna move the dust collector up higher on the wall, but I decided that I really didn't need to, and I actually really appreciate how easy it is to take this off, empty out the bag. Yes, on some days I might have to do it like once a day, but there's other times where I can go a couple of days and not need to do it. I'm actually still using the same bag that came with it which, if you remember, I installed this dust collector in either September or October of 2019. So I'm still using the same bag. There are a couple of tiny little pinholes in it, and I'm sure at some point, maybe this year, I might have to replace the bag, but for right now, it's still doing great. There used to be foam around the bottom of the canister, and I need to replace that. It got worn out after a while with removing the bag and dumping the sawdust out all of the time, but it's really not affecting the operation of the dust collector at all. So I'm going to show you just how easy it is to empty the bag of sawdust out. So like I was saying, what I really love is how easy this is to empty the sawdust. You just undo the strap, bag pops off, and I can quickly just dump it out into the trash can. Then I fit the bag back on. And fit the band back around it and tighten it. And it's ready to go for the next operation. And then I can clean out the filter and it's ready to go. So another question I get asked is why or how I like it even though I don't have a particle separator on it. That is something that I do plan to do. I have a lot of plans to do a lot of things, and sometimes they don't get done quickly. They always get done eventually, but not always on the timing that I intend. I do plan to one day put a particle separator on here. It definitely will let you know if a large chunk of wood gets in there because it gives you like a loud bang. But I just try to be careful, and if I'm using the floor sweep attachment, it actually has a grate on it so that it won't allow anything large to go up into the dust collector. So I am grateful for that benefit. The floor sweep works great. I love it for vacuuming up sawdust. But with that grate, it can get a little annoying because of the fact that it will clog up and you have to shut off the dust collector and clear out that grate and then start over again. I'm actually on my second one because the first one I had, I think I just used it too much, and so the wheels on the bottom of it fell off, so got on Rockler's website, ordered a new one, and it's working great now. I think that's actually the only thing with this entire system that I have replaced was the floor sweep attachment. Everything else has been working great. Like I said, I'm still on the same original bag that came with it, which is amazing to me, and honestly, I love this dust collector. I recommend it 10 out of 10 if you are in the market for one and you're trying to find the right one for your shop. This one has worked great for me. I think that it may not be absolutely necessary to have the filter canister on there if it's not in your budget or if it's just not something you're interested in, but for me, I really like it, and it also is easier for me to empty the sawdust when it is on a bag under the canister versus the bag that would have fit on here. I think I would have found it to be a real pain after a while to empty the sawdust out. So overall, I'm super happy with it. I use it all the time. I haven't noticed any reduction in the suction of it over the last 2+ years that I've been using it. And there's times where my husband will be out here working with me at the same time, and one of us might be at the table saw and one of us might be using another tool, and we've got both blast gates open, and both of them do an amazing job of keeping the sawdust out of our machines and going into the dust collector and keeping the shop clean. So if you do have any other questions though, I definitely want to answer them to the best of my ability. Feel free to either message me on social media or leave a comment with your questions, concerns, thoughts, or anything like that. And I will definitely answer them on this because I do love it. It's a huge, valuable piece of my shop. and definitely recommend. So thanks so much for watching this probably long-awaited review or update on my dust collector. I promise I won't take so long next time on some of my other tools. If there are any tools that you want to see me review that I have or that you have questions on, definitely let me know, and I might try to put together a series of videos of some of the tools that I have to show you how to work them, show you why I bought them, and just kind of give my thoughts on whether I think they were worth the money or not. So let me know in the comments what you want to see reviews on, and I will definitely get to work on that.